This one's a little more complicated. What advice can you give about redirecting confrontation into something productive? For example, we tend to respect people who are able to handle challenging questions, being interrupted, receiving remarks, or general negativity fired their way. In a man-to-woman scenario, negging can be seen as a lighter version of this, but what about the heavier kind of disagreeableness?
Okay. Hold on. Can you repeat the question? So I'm kind of
I
like,
I put it in the chatting, so you can refer to it anytime. But
oh,
it's a pretty complicated one. But essentially, what advice can you give about redirecting confrontation into something productive? So,
Yeah, so I mean, confrontation can be good. It can display um, that you're not like a nice guy. You don't get put in that category. It can display like a lot of confidence. Not many guys are willing to get into like a confrontation or disagreement with a girl. If a girl is somewhat like bratty, which is like a smaller archetype, but if she's bratty and has some attitude, you might actually find this very attractive. It's going to elicit a lot of emotion within the girl. And if she's just like a big attention seeker, then this strips a lot of validation. So this goes back to the security guard opener that I was talking about. So you might artificially create confrontation. You might go to a girl and say like, "Hey, what the fuck? You can't stand here," or you're like, "Hey, how old are you? You can't be in this club or some shit." And then, well, it could happen during the interaction. The key here is you want to use it to display these things, but you can't have a whole interaction where it's just confrontational, right? Like it's always just gonna fucking die and there. So you need to find a way to turn it back. This needs to be like a playful setting. So if you have a confrontation with a girl, oftentimes the way I switch that is I'll look at her, I'll smirk, and I'll be like, "What, you want to fucking fight? You want to go? Listen, I'll take you." And then the girl switches into the playful mode. She's like, "Oh, I can take you." She gets up. She might like push you a little bit or something like that. That is the transition. That is like the little um, offer you give out there to let's move this from confrontational to more flirtatious now. If that's one scenario. The other scenario is the guys that just accidentally get into confrontations with women. So maybe I don't know, it could be like political fucking views or music taste or even like the idea of like trying to take a girl home and she's like, "No, I just don't want to go home." And guys get a bit butthurt and it starts to turn into a confrontational interaction. If you find that you're doing that, then my advice here isn't going to be how to correct it. It's just going to be don't fucking do it. Like if you're the type of guy that finds yourself doing that, then reflect on it, work on it. You need to calm the fuck down. You need to not feel so entitled, and yeah, make sure you don't get into those positions to begin with.
I got to take off in a minute, but I'll just give my thoughts on this. You want to avoid having become a logical debate, which is the rabbit hole a lot of guys go. You should always be like grounded, calm, and just fucking around. Like, if a girl's trying to be confrontational and you're just like teasing her and making fun of her, like playfully, then you're going to be okay. But if you get butthurt, you're done. I'll just share a funny anecdote. I remember way back when, like 2019 or so, before Myron had Fresh and Fit. We went out to pick up girls together once, and I never went out with him again because I noticed that whenever he would go in like pretty confident, but as soon as the girl gave like the tiniest amount of pushback, he would like reach for the interaction. And so I would just be left there, and the girls are like, "What's wrong with your friend?" I'm like, I barely know him, but yeah. So yeah, you have to be able to handle some pushback, and you have to be able to kind of have fun with it. But yeah, the minute you get emotionally affected or butthurt, you're done.
yeah, I'm the same way. If I get any type of resistance, I'm out. I'm done. So I don't argue with women. I don't play games with women. I only look for positive responses. If that's not happening, she's speaking to my breeze. So I don't know about like arguing with women. And now there's a difference between being playful about an interaction versus actually having a confrontation. So I want to make that clear. So like let's say if I'm flirting with a girl and she's playfully saying something and we know that we're playing, that's one thing. But if it's something where the girl is, like being rude or giving negative energy, I just don't deal with her. You see what I'm saying? So for example, like if I'm talking to a girl and I introduce myself and I say, "Hey, what's your name?" And then she's like, gives me a stink look and she's like, "Why you want to know my name for?" And I look at her and I say, "You have a good night," and I walk away. So I don't deal with any of that type of stuff. I just don't do it.
I guess we differ on that. All right, guys, I gotta take off. It was fun chat. Thank you guys for having me on. I'll talk to you
Catch
guys
you, bro.
soon.
Take care, man.
Yeah.
I would say me and Marcus can definitely see eye to eye that if you got a little bit of pushback from a girl and you just walked away, you practically wouldn't get laid in Australia. These girls
Yeah.
love
Good luck.
banter. Yeah, they
Yeah.
love this shit. This is like their number one flirting tactic. They want to see if you're able to handle this shit. I know me and Marcus definitely experienced this once or twice together, fucking, going out. And yeah, it's crazy. You wouldn't get laid. You would basically be a virgin for the whole time unless you learn this banter, unless you learn this back and forth, this playfulness, not taking anything seriously. Just having fun, throwing it, but just as much back in her face. But it's all done with a joke and a smile. It's not done with anything serious or malicious.
Yeah,
I
the
think
amount of attraction you build, if a girl gives you a little bit of shit and you can show her like, hey, this didn't affect me at all. I'm not walking away. I'm not butthurt. And guess what? I can give a little bit of shit back. Like the minute you see that, that's why I say like these bratty girls that are after a dominant guy, right? They test. It's like if you're a girl in a club and you want a guy to be super masculine, super dominant, and you don't want to ask for it, the best way to do it is to give him shit, right? That is the best way to be able to find this out. And so, yeah, usually if you break that threshold with these girls, you just have like a lot of attraction. It's just they've screened out everyone else essentially.
Yeah,
Dean,
I
what's
don't.
it like in Europe, right? Dean, you know it in Europe as well, in England.
Yeah, I fully agree with everything on this subject everyone said, and it's like the extra part I can add is you've got to distinguish what's the motivation behind the girl and how does that stand with your values and your boundaries. Because if she's giving you playful shit or she's challenging you, do you do this to all the girls? Why are you talking to me? It's like if that girl is staying and her body language looks soft and she's got a little slight smirk on her face, it's like that's a genuine shit test. And a shit test, the way that you should be framing that and filtering that is that's a compliment. Because if a girl wasn't interested in you at all, she just wouldn't have any opinion about you at all, and she wouldn't want to be around you. So if she's saying playfully derogatory things about you, or she's testing you, or she's challenging you, and she's not doing it in a malevolent way, then that's a compliment. So the way you should be framing that is that's a win. That's a green tick. You should be going along with that and not taking it personally. What makes that difficult is if your self-esteem is low and a woman says something playfully disparaging, you're going to take that to heart. And then you're not going to recognize the fact that she's actually flirting with you or testing you. So, recognize, distinguish between, is it a playful insult? Is it a neg? Is it a challenge? Is it a shit test? If it is, then go along with that and be as unreactive to that as possible and grab that and turn that into an even bigger joke. If she's actually being malevolent and she's telling you you're ugly and get the fuck out of here and I don't want to talk to you, whatever that is, it's like, just get out there, man, because that's just negativity. So have the boundary function to turn away and learn to say no to those type of situations. But I would say if a woman sat down with you, she's at the bar with you, or you're on a date and she's saying playfully challenging things, reframe that as a compliment. Because if she wasn't interested in you, if a woman's not interested in a guy, she just doesn't want to be around him. So the fact that she's engaged with you, even if she's framing the conversation like it's a little bit of a challenge, you should be taking that as a compliment. Like, oh, well, I'm building attraction. And I know I'm building attraction because this girl is testing me even more now. So you should be getting excited about that, not deflated.
See,
So I agree with what you guys are saying.
I would have a little counter to that because when it comes to attraction or when it comes to interest, because you're absolutely right. Like there is the interest there. The issue though is that there's high interest, medium interest, and low interest. And then there's also no interest. No interest is a woman don't want nothing to do with you, she don't want to talk to you, whatever. But high, medium, and low. So high interest is when a woman is 100% cooperative. She doesn't give you any shit. She doesn't talk back. She doesn't give you any attitude. She just goes, she basically follows your lead. Medium interest is what a lot of guys deal with, where women give you that shit. It's kind of like they're there, but they're kind of in the middle. Like they like you, but they're like, I'm gonna give him a little shit. He's okay, but I'm not fully interested. That's why I don't really deal with shit tests, because shit tests are for women who have medium interest in you. Then low interest is a woman who just basically wants your attention. The woman who want to put you in the friend zone. The women who want nothing sexual to do with you, but they will take your non-sexual attention. So I only deal with, or I don't say only, but 99.99% of the time, I only deal with high interest women. That's why I don't deal with women who do shit tests, because a shit test is telling me that you are giving me some form of resistance, and any form of resistance is a form of disinterest. So there's something that she is disinterested in, which is why she is actually giving you the shit test. So women who are 100% into you they never shit test you. So I only deal with women who don't shit test, because all I do is I say something and they do it. And if they don't do it, I don't fuck with them. You see what I'm saying? So that's just how I do it. Because what happens is that if you're dealing with a woman who has medium interest and you continue to deal with her, then essentially you're chasing. This is what I was talking about earlier. You have to chase in order to get her to cooperate. Because if she was 100% interested, she would be cooperating without any hesitation or resistance. You see what I'm saying?
But
So
then wouldn't you feel like you're settling if you're going for someone that's 100% interested all the time?
Yep.
No, because I'm basically saying I'm only rewarding women who reflect me. So if I see myself as the shit, I need you to see me as the shit, or else
But
I
they
don't.
don't know you yet in the beginning. They have
Yeah,
to
this is
think
the
yourself
biggest
as a
ego
person.
effect.
But
How much of them?
But that's what I'm saying. They do know me. So okay, check this out. Do you need to know a woman to know that you're attracted to her, or do you see the type of woman you're attracted to?
No, but you
No,
don't
no.
need to know a woman first, but that's why you
I'll answer that
approach her to
question.
talk to her, to get to know her, right?
Right. So what I'm saying is when I have a conversation with a woman, right? The way that I talk, the things that I'm saying, my demeanor tells her the type of guy I am. So I'll give you a perfect example. I was at a bar once and I went up to this girl and I was talking to her. She said something, I can't remember exactly what she said, but it was something kind of disrespectful. And I said, "You have a good night." So then she ran back to me. She said, well, "Hold on, what happened? What did I say?" Right. And I told her, I said, "Listen, I don't deal with women who talk to me like that." And then she apologized and she was like, "I'm sorry." And then I was dating this girl for a few months. And basically, what she said is the reason why she ran back is because she recognized and realized the fact that I walked away, that I'm not the type of guy to play with. That's what I'm saying. So, what I'm saying is that certain guys, women could do that and the guy will still deal with her. And that's fine if that's what you want to do. I'm just saying that understand that the test happened because the woman does not see you as highly attractive, because if she did, she wouldn't try to test you in the first place.
I
Because
agree. I
right,
agree.
because
But this is the problem. This is the problem. You think that a woman knows exactly who you are after 10 seconds of knowing her. Now, this would sound crazy if we said it the other way around. If I told you after 10 seconds, I know I want to marry this girl and she's going to be my girlfriend or some shit, everyone here would laugh at me and be like, "Bro, you don't know a girl for months. Like,
No,
you need
know
a
what's
long time to get to know her." Yet, you're here expecting a girl to know you after like 10, 20 seconds. Yes, she won't have huge attraction for you. Any girl with high standards isn't going to have a huge attraction for anyone to begin with, right? What they're going to do is they're going to test and they're going to get to know you. So yes, a girl might meet me and think, this guy seems kind of cool, but he seems like a bit of a fucking player, okay? So the next thing that might come out of her mouth could be something like, "You say this to every girl, don't you?" Right?
Right.
It could be like, "I don't think I want to talk to you," right?
Yes,
It could be, she's going to test. Right now, yes, there's times where if a girl's just like completely fucking disrespectful, you don't want to, reward that. You're going to ignore her. You might want to walk away. She can chase after her. I think what you did was great. But this all just sounds like you're protecting your ego. This all just sounds like you never want to show effort unless you know you're not going to get rejected. The minute you think there's a chance of rejection from a girl, you don't want to show any effort. It just seems like you're protecting your ego, to be honest. I think you're missing out on amazing girls.
Marcus, check this out. Check this out. When
Checking it out, bro.
when you approach a woman, right, and I can tell you're very charismatic. You know how to talk. You're a wordsmith. I'm sure you got a good mouthpiece. When you approach a woman, right, do you think that she thinks when you approach her that you're a nerdy, weird, insecure guy, or does she think that you're a guy who is kind of confident, is cool and calm and collected? Which one do you think she thinks you are?
So I've got feedback of every single girl I've slept with, and some that I weren't able to sleep with when I started out. Most of the time, what girls say is they think I'm super confident and they think I'm good with women.
Right.
But sometimes that's not enough. A lot of the girls I've slept with, as Sam was mentioning, gave me a lot of shit to begin with, and what they told me is I wasn't attracted to you. They would say, like, I could tell you're very confident, right? They might even say arrogant at times. They could say, "I tell you very confident," but they're like, "I wasn't attracted to you. You're not my type." The funny thing is, someone mentioned about black guys. I've slept with a lot of Swedish girls that literally told me, like, I only sleep with black guys, right? That's the only, and then they sleep with me. So yes, they think I'm confident, but sometimes that's not enough.
Right, but Marcus, is what I'm saying. They know the type of guy you are. They don't have to know you personally.
But that's not enough. The type of guy isn't enough, right?
No.
They know I'm confident. It's not enough.
no. What I'm saying is the type of guy, right,
Yep.
will prompt her to respond a certain way. Just like, so if a guy who's kind of nerdy and weird and comes up to a woman and says, hey, hi, I'm sorry to bother you. I was just wondering. She's like, get this loser out of here. She might reject him harshly because she can.
She's probably going to be nice to him, to be honest. If you have like actually a very loser guy that comes up and he's like, hey, I just wanted to, they're probably just going to be like, hey, I'm really sorry. It's just a girl's night, right? They're not going to be mean.
Right,
It's the guy that comes over that's confident that they're going to be like,
he knows
get the
what
fuck
type
out
of
of
guy,
here.
but what I'm saying is she has an idea of what type of guy he is. Yes.
Yes, she has an idea of the type of guy. Yes, that could be completely
That's
wrong,
what
but
I'm
she has an
saying.
idea of the type of guy. Correct.
Right. So
Yeah.
that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying she knows me personally. I'm saying she knows the type of guy I am.
Okay, so let's do a thought experiment, right? You come up and she thinks, damn, this guy's got some balls. He's confident, right? He's got some swag, right? That's what these girls are thinking. Yeah.
Right.
All right. Now, maybe she's like, but is this guy a bum? Like, does he even have a fucking job? Right?
Mm.
Maybe she's thinking, hang on, this guy called me sexy. He's probably said that to fucking every girl here. He's just desperate for sex. He can just, like, I could get it. He probably sleeps with some girls, but I reckon he's just like desperate for sex.
Right. And why would she?
Just
And why
test
would she
that.
be thinking that? She would be thinking that because she's not into me. So what I'm saying is that if I'm talking to a woman, right, either she's going to be into me or she's
You're
not.
playing a numbers game. Cool. You go up, you're confident, you're
Everybody's
playing numbers
playing a
game.
numbers
If that's
game.
what you're going to do it. But just call
Everybody's
out for what it
playing a
is. You're
numbers
playing a
game.
numbers game.
Everybody's playing a numbers game. How do you not play a numbers game?
No, everyone
I'm-
is not playing a numbers game. What people are saying is we can go up to a goal, and all of us here, someone correct me if I'm wrong, all of us here think there's things we can do that create more attraction. Dean was before, he was talking about being more relaxed and having emotions that go onto the goal. Sam was talking about dealing with girls that are a little bit bratty and give you some attitude. We all think there's things we can do, right, that affect attraction. We all think that over time, we probably build attraction with girls. I think all of us would say at the end of the night, the girl is more into us than at the start of the night. It's because they get to know us more. And it's because they test and they ask questions and they find out. We need to be able to display these things to them. If you just go up and say, you either like me or you don't, right? You're either 100% in or you don't, you're playing a numbers game at that point.
But it reminds me of like buying a house. And I kind of understand, this is my caveat, which is Brooklyn game, Australia game, London game. Like everyone's got a different style of game and a different thing. So they're all going to come up with their things. My understanding is that it's like when you buy a house, you just wouldn't just buy a house just like that, would you? Do you know, like, what's the number one thing you do when you buy a house?
You go inside and then you look around, right?
Yeah, which is you're
Right,
seeing
so-
if it's
right,
thing.
so when
No. But the second thing, what's the second thing you do with a house?
Ooh, evaluation.
A pest and building inspection to make sure
Mhm.
that the building doesn't have termites, doesn't have black mold, doesn't have water damage. And that's a big investment. That's a house. So with a girl, she has she could be raped, she could have all these other things, raped, whatever. So the reason why I think, from my perspective, that she does test is just to make sure the congruency of you present yourself to who you are, which comes down to the understanding. It's like, I understand that you want a girl that's 100% committed to you, but are you trying to get a girl that's saying no to every other guy and yes to you within a short amount of time?
No, I don't care what she says to. No, I don't care what she says to anybody else. I'm talking about what she says to me. So, Marcus, what I wanted to ask you though, real quick, you said you're not playing the numbers game, but you get rejected. Yes.
Yes, yeah, I get
So the next thing you're playing a numbers game. So what are you talking about? So what I'm saying?
There's a big difference here. There's a big difference.
What's the
So
difference?
what I see is there's a numbers game. We could say we're playing a form of number game that is different. Okay, so your numbers game is I'm going to go out and just do the exact same thing and I'm just going to show this 10-second thing. And unless a girl is 1,000% into me, I'm not going to put my ego on the line. I'm not going to try anything. I'm either going to take a girl that's really into me or I'm not, right? So you probably have a X amount percent of time that this is going to work and it's not. And none of this gets improved or worsens. It's the exact same thing. You just go do this. Now, what I like to do is I go out there and I can say like, 50% of the time, I might not get a good response to begin with. We can pick an arbitrary number. That's fine. I then don't do the numbers and say, well, I just need to approach 100 girls and 50 are going to be into me. I say, okay, those 50 girls that weren't into me, how come? What can I improve here? And what can I change? I start to change those things. I start to adapt those things. I let them know, find out more about me. Maybe I speak to the friend. So I turn those numbers from 50% to like 80% or 90% or 99% or whatever it might be. So your numbers are stagnant and the exact same. You protect your ego. Mine are adapting and evolving and improving.
Okay, so let me ask you this: do you believe in submission?
What do you mean believe in submission?
I'm asking, do you believe that a woman should submit to the man?
Depends what you, it's such a loaded term. I believe in masculinity and femininity. I believe in dom sub dynamics. But I don't, it depends what you mean by submission. I don't expect to go up to a girl and her say, you're a man.
No,
Hello.
and I do. That's what I'm
Whatever
that's what I'm trying to say. So what I'm saying is in any dynamic, somebody is submitting to someone else. So what happens is in any situation, right? One person's leading and the other person's following. One person's setting
Correct.
school and the other person's following.
Correct.
So when you approach a woman and
Yep.
she's basically saying, I am not going to go with your program, and you decide, well, you know what? I'm going to try harder to get her to come this way. You have essentially followed her program, which means you submitted to her.
I see the problem here. I see the problem. It's a mindset issue, right? Because you're missing the mindset from the behavior. You don't understand the difference. You're putting them into one. So the behavior here isn't chasing. The behavior here isn't being submissive. So when I ignore her and speak to the friend to build attraction, that's not a submissive behavior. I'm ignoring her, right? Just the same way when you said I walked away. Let me finish something. When you said you walked away from the goal, right? That wasn't a try hard behavior. That wasn't a now it worked, right? She came after you. Now, if I did the exact same thing, if I said my technique, okay, when a girl starts to give me a little bit of shit, I go to walk away because I know she's going to follow me. You're going to be like, bro, you're trying really hard because you're thinking about the mindset. The behaviors are exactly the same. So I focus on my behaviors because I never feel needy. I never feel submissive. My mindsets are fine. I don't have an ego around this. Whereas every time you try, your mindset tells you this is submissive. This is bad, right? I don't have that. So all I'm looking at is the behavior. The behavior of all the things I'm doing isn't chasing, it isn't submissive, and I am in control.
But no, you're not. But this is a different.
Hold on.
Real quick. When I walk
Sorry,
I'll give Locario 20 seconds to respond, and then we'll cut it there. Okay?
Sorry, I get excited. Okay, I'm sorry.
Cool. But it's like, when I walk away, I'm not walking away to try to get her to chase me. I'm walking away because I'm done.
Exactly. I'm saying the mindset. So you're talking about the mindset.
Let him go.
Okay.
Now, real quick, what I'm saying is that you're saying, well, I'm ignoring the girl by talking to her friend, and then that builds attraction for the girl to want to come back and chase and so forth and so on. What I'm saying is your action is an action of chasing because you're doing that for the effect of that. It's not like you said, hey, I talked to her friend.
That's the mindset.
No. That's what I'm saying. It's not like you said, I talked to her friend because she wasn't interested. I'm going to talk to her friend, and then she chased me.
You're talking about the mindset.
Okay, guys.
Locario,
let's just arrange. Hold up. Let's just arrange.
Locario, we can talk about this. I'm excited to talk about this.
Where are you located?
Let's arrange a separate debate. Let's fucking do it. I think it's an interesting discussion, but anyway, Ison, what were you?
I was gonna ask him because I'm from Texas, and in the South we got horses, right? In the beginning, if you get on a horse like a Mustang, it's gonna buck you off, right? And then later on, you got to train him to be submissive to you. Kind of like with women in the beginning, they're not gonna, perceive you well if they don't know you. But then later on, as they get to know you better,
but they do
liking you.
What I'm saying, because when I meet women, I have women who cooperate.
Yes, the sixes that you're talking about.
No, but this is what I'm saying.
Okay, moving on. I'll throw in a fun one. Let's arrange a separate debate for this. This is fun.
And real quick. I'm sorry. Real quick. Why do y'all think a hotter woman is harder to get? This is what I'm saying. Y'all put women on a pedestal, which is why y'all chase them.
Because she's hotter, she's more valuable, more guys are going after her. It's not a mindset thing. It's the way of the world. She's more attractive. She has more value.
Looks make her more valuable?
Yes.
Oh my God.
By definition, yes. We just spoke about this before. We said what makes people attractive. We said we look for looks more than men do. You literally said this.
I didn't say that. I don't think a woman's looks makes her valuable.
You don't care about looks at all.
Y'all do. I care about.
You don't care about looks at all.
No, I care about looks from a woman who's cooperating. If she's not cooperating, I don't give a fuck how she look. That's what I'm saying. Cooperation.
So you care zero about looks. You would take the most hideous, disgusting old lady as long as she's compliant.
No. If a woman is two women are attractive, I'm picking the one who cooperates. I'm picking the attractive.
Okay, so you care about looks though.
Huh?
You care about looks. Looks impacts her value. Yes.
No. I care about her being attractive to me because I'm going to be sexually attracted to her. What I'm saying though is if she's sexually,
I'm sorry, I did still talk. Otherwise,
wait. If she's sexually attractive, if she looks good, but she's not cooperating, I will not fuck with her. I would fuck with a woman who is less attractive than her, but cooperative. That's what I'm saying.
You're looking
Okay.
for submission.
What,
Okay,
what,
whatever.
what
Let's
happened?
move on.
What
Moving
happened
on,
with the
moving on.
relationship? That's my interesting thing. What happened with that relationship with that girl that was submissive? Why did it end in 2 or 3 months?
Which girl? Which one are you talking about?
The one you brought up as the example of the girl that, completely chased after you, and then you said, and she was like, "Oh, I apologize, she did submit," and then 3 months later it ended.
No. So what happened was I ended it because she kept getting a little too needy and clingy. So I just was like, you gotta chill. And
The girl that's submissive that does
Whoa.
everything for you is too needy.
yeah, she got a little too needy.
How does that work?
Don't
How
you
does
just
that
like
work?
that? Don't you want a girl to be 100% submissive, 100% into you,
Right.
100% chasing you?
Right. And she needs to be following my lead. So when I tell her, when I say don't call me today and you call me, I'm not fucking with you. So she was not being submissive. What I'm trying to say.
Damn.
Yeah, it wasn't submissive
This is
enough. Okay.
interesting though. Okay.
Perfect.
No, that's okay. I got a lot to, yeah, that's interesting. Whatever. Moving on.